So Emmanuel, good morning to you. An absolute pleasure to be with you here at Viva Tech today. Love the proposition of Sanofi and what you do, the miracles of science and improving people's lives. Tell us a little bit about you and your role at Sanofi.
Good morning, James. Thanks for having me. My name is Emmanuel. I'm the Chief Digital Officer at Sanofi. I've been in that role for a few years now. And as you said, my goal is to help chase the miracles of science and to use technology, nowadays more and more AI, to try to achieve that by reducing the time it takes to either identify a miracle or bring it to patients. Because it takes about 10 to 12 years to create a new treatment. It has a 90% failure rate, which is a horrible, if you think about it, it's a horrible forecast. So could we reduce the time? Could we reduce the failure rate? That's kind of my contribution to the company.
Love it. So let's go straight to AI. Tell us a little bit about how AI as an accelerator has changed the skills and talent you look to bring into the organization and your expectations and the way you work with key partners.
AI has been an accelerator of many things for us. And what's important, I think, when you look at deploying AI is the scale side. There's a lot of ideas that you can do that will not reach scale, and that's unfortunately maybe not a great exploitation of AI. So I would say the number one acceleration has to come from within the company. Sanofi is a company with the reach of 75,000 people. How do you embark 75,000 people on your AI journey is really what we were set for ourselves as an objective. And then you're going to have very specialized use cases. So we kind of separated AI in what we call snackable AI. That was this idea of anyone can use it. It's simple, kind of like Instagram. It's easy. You don't need to have a PhD to. And then AI that really applies to people that have high, deep expertise that you're going to find in molecular research, that you're going to find in a clinical trial, you're going to find in manufacturing. So we kind of split AI for everyone and then AI for the experts. And by making it that way, we made it less threatening. There's a little bit of an anxiety that comes with people saying, this is going to be very complicated. It's artificial intelligence. I don't know exactly what it does. How would I use it? If you make it so simple, so non-threatening, then people use it and they surprise you. Some of our best use cases of AI adoption have come from things that I never imagined would be done because somebody dared try something.
And on that point, tell everybody a little bit about proof of concept versus proof of value and how you approach it in Sanofi.
Yeah, so I'm not a fan of POCs or prototypes. Actually, I'm not a fan at all. We don't do them. I don't think it's I think it sets false expectations. You can do something wonderful as a prototype, and then you know that the journey to making it on the production system will take you maybe months, maybe years. And so you create a false sense of expectation. I much prefer the concept of the minimum viable product. What is the bare necessity functionality that we can deliver for your business, for your function, for your job that will have an impact? And let's measure that impact. And if that's the commitment, let's do that first. And gradually it becomes more and more and more. This is the iterative product mindset that you have to have. So that's the approach that we take. And I'm okay if MVPs fail. That's the goal. But they have to go into production. There's no point doing something and keeping on the shelf as a trophy. If it's not AI for impact, there should not be AI. In this case, you measure it, you go into production. If it fails, you take the lessons learned, the humbling lessons learned. If it succeeds, you scale it as fast as possible.
Get it into production, iterate as you go, and scale.
That's right.
Scale what wins.
That's right. And it's much more rewarding for both sides of the equation. For the digital teams that work on it because they see things going to production, but also for your business counterparts because they also learn this mindset of iterating. Often at times, when you come from a background where I come from, where for a long time we deployed large-scale systems, you knew that those large-scale systems that you deployed based on hundreds of pages of the printed requirements never quite met that need. Because by the time you deliver a system, the need had evolved. In something like that, you can be much closer. So it's also much more rewarding for the business side of the house.
Yes. And within our technology survey, we can see that number one priority is business and technology alignment around priorities. And when we look at the why, it's very focused around the technology leader has a burning desire in 2026 to deliver ROI now in relation to how they're using agentic AI. Do you have some examples you could share with us in terms of how Sanofi are approaching this with your MVP approach?
Yeah, and that makes sense. I think ROI is what we have to have. ROAI, as one would say. We have an AI board at Sanofi, which is co-chaired by the chief financial officer and myself, where every AI use case of a certain value, certain amount of investment goes through, and we look at that ROI. And that ROI doesn't always have to be financial. You know, sometimes we think it's cost savings, sometimes we think it's top line growth, sometimes it's time. As I mentioned, the 10 to 12 years, what if you could shave 6 months in the delivery of a treatment? That has a P&L impact, of course. So I think it's important this is the year where AI is about impact. We've been going through I think a couple of years ago, there was a AI discovery moment where how could we do it? Where could we use it? We all as users in our personal lives have adopted it. And now we're really driving into, okay, AI as an investment has to have an impact.
Yeah. And Emmanuel, if we go forward in time to 12 months today and we're together again at VivaTech, I think from a talent and Experis perspective, I'll be talking to you about skills-based enterprise transformation at scale. I also think we'll be talking an awful lot about agentic AI at scale and who are the winners and who are the losers in that transformation journey. What's your perspective on the key focus and themes and what we will be talking about in 12 months from now?
That's a great point. I think it's where Experis Manpower, you have a unique skill set, which is identifying the skills of the future. And someone like me doesn't always have this perspective of what will be the skills that will be required and how do we build. AI is a human adventure. It's a human journey. We talk about the technology as if it's sentient, but it's here to augment humans. So that ability to ensure that we find the right skills for people so that people continue to progress and can adopt the technology and unleash its impact is critical. I don't know yet, James, what will be the skills that will be required. I hope to be guided by you on that. Certainly, I think next year we'll be measuring real impact of use cases that are going to production now. And we'll be able to say, did it or did it not? Was it the right level of investment? Was it not? Because we can't fool ourselves. There's a big cost behind what we do. AI is not cheap. AI at scale is not cheap. You see maybe in your personal life where he's suddenly oversubscribed your tokens. And so that's the reality of everybody's going to be faced with. There's a cost and there's going to be a value next to it. So I hope that next year in the same place, we'll be able to count the value.
Emmanuel, it's been an absolute pleasure to spend some time with you today, to hear about the exciting transformation at Sanofi. It's been a pleasure, so thank you so much.
Likewise, thank you for having me, James.
Thank you for your inspiration. Appreciate it.